Hey guys, welcome to the In the Game Room podcast. This is Alan here. I have a new model from Rubicon Models, the Panzer II, which comes in the A, B, C, F version, and I'm not even going to try to say that, but I'm pretty sure that's the command version. A couple other things I have that are brand new from Rubicon. They came out with 7 new kits just recently, but this is their first release. Well, these two, pardon me, are their first 2 releases in the Vietnam series. I'll be reviewing those very soon. I haven't even opened these yet. I'm dying to see what they look like. But right now I want to do the Panzer II because in World War II, I believe the Panzer II, at least for the Germans, was the most produced tank of the war. So I think it was a really good idea that they released this. Several different versions. I'm going to build this in the F version, and it's going to be for my Desert Africa Corps Army. Now, this is the first time pulling this model out, but it's not the first time pulling the instruction sheet out because I wanted to get a kind of a head start of reading this last night and, figuring out what I was going to do. I noticed with Rubicon models, any model that has multiple versions, there's going to be steps in the instructions that you skip ahead to or eliminate completely, and it's not confusing, but you gotta pay attention. So I thought I'd go through first, and what I did was I actually highlighted the parts that I was going to need based on the version I was building, and crossed out the ones that didn't apply. And as I was saying, there's certain ones you skip, like when you get this part done and you finish this step, then you skip if you're going to do the F version 1 or 2, or F version 2. It says to skip to 16 or 17, so you skip all of this stuff here, which, to be perfectly honest, when I first opened this thing, I saw so many steps. I was like, how complicated can this little model be? But you skip 90% of it, and then you end up back here on 17 and finish the model there. So it's just a couple of pages at the beginning to get the basic chassis together with a few different options, and then you skip to whatever version you're going to do. And in the case of mine, I'm going to do the F version, so you skip to the very last page actually and start here and finish it. So while this is, I don't know, 6, 8, or 10 pages or something, it seems a little daunting at first. It really isn't. It's just a couple of pages that you actually use. Here's the decals. Haven't really even taken a good look at them yet, but nothing really surprising here. All the numbers and the symbols and the DAC symbol. So that's pretty standard. As a matter of fact, we've probably seen this before because it just says German tanks number 7. No, number 7. That might be a new one just for these. All right, so let's look at some parts here. As I said before, it has a lot of different versions. So as you can see, there's different turrets, a lot of different looks like plates that go on the back of the chassis. I think these are deck plates that go on top. A couple of different versions of those. The detail on these guys, looking through this plastic here, looks really good. The tracks look awesome. They did a really good job on the tracks, it looks like. So there's the main chassis. A bunch more random details. The driver. These all look really good. Here's all the side bits with the suspension. Okay, so there's your 2 upper decks. I guess depending on what, different versions are going to use different decks. Like a lot of Rubicon kits, there's almost enough here to do 2 kits, but you'd need another upper deck and these bits. I mean, that first upper chassis bit there. Wow, I guess you'd call that diamond plate, or I'm not even sure what that's called, but those textured surfaces, the walkways along the side there, that is really, really sharp detail. I think that's going to look really good. Okay, so we got the drive wheels. So not only do the drive wheels have a hole in there that obviously matches one of these pins, but it's a slotted pin, so you can only put it on the right way. That's pretty smart. All right, so I'm impressed with what I see here. It's Rubicon quality. Every single model they come out with is a little better than the last. So this is right up there, brand new. It's going to be a really good quality model, I'm sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here and build this, and then we'll come back and have a look at how it looks.
A few moments later.
All right, guys, I'm back a couple hours later. Here is the model. Let's see if I can hold it up here where you can see it. It is really, really nice. There's a lot of really cool detail on this. It's a tiny little thing because, I mean, it's a Panzer II. They didn't get very big. It went together really nicely. I actually made a couple of mistakes not paying attention to the instructions and put a few things on in the wrong order. And I can see why they tell you to do things in a certain order. It worked out okay, but it would have been easier if I followed instructions, but I didn't. So model looks great. What I'm going to do, what I do with all of my tanks, I'm going to drill a hole in here, a big hole, and I'm going to drop BBs in there and some glue to give this a little weight. I like my plastic tanks to have a little bit of weight to them, but hopefully you're getting a real good view of that. I don't know how long it took me to do it, because I did the chassis first. So I took a break and went and did some other things, and then I came back and did the turret. But I can't imagine there's anywhere close to an hour in this. It went together pretty quick, and it was easy. Like I said, reading the instruction manual first and highlighting the areas that you're going to pay attention to and the ones that you're going to ignore, I think that really helps a lot in these kind of kits, because it would be really easy to make a mistake and move from, step 6 to step 7 when you're supposed to go from 6 to 14 or something. So if you're going to build one of these, do that. Go through the instructions first and just highlight everything where you have choices, different kinds of hatches or whatever, different drive wheels and idler wheels. You want to highlight the one you're actually going to use. But there she is. I think it looks awesome. I've never been a huge fan of the very early war German tanks, but I'm becoming one because I think this is it's a neat model. And I think in the game we play, Bolt Action, I think it's a fairly cheap option, and I think it can be fairly effective. This particular one has a light autocannon and a medium machine gun, which is a good combination to have. And I believe in Bolt Action this is a 7 or 8 armor, so it's fairly survivable for such a small little tank. So we'll see how that goes, but there's a lot of parts left over, mainly turrets. So if you're building a tank factory or something, these might come in handy. All these different plates. What else is here? A lot of little miscellaneous stuff. I still have the driver. I'll probably, not the driver, I guess he'd be the commander. I'll put him in there. A couple of pieces here, but there's enough pieces here that you can, use as terrain if you have a tank factory or something like that. So giving this thing a score of 1 to 10, we'll do overall, it's easily above 9. I can't give a model a 10 because 10's a perfect score, and I don't know if we'll ever get a perfect model, but it's definitely over 9. As far as ease of assembly, I'm going to go with about an 8 on that. It's easy, but it's complex. There's a lot of little parts. So I don't think there's anything they could have done different. I don't think they could have made the instructions any better. It's just the nature of a small tank with this many parts. It's like I said, it's easy to put together, but it's complex. We'll see what it looks like all painted up and everything, but I'm sure it's going to be beautiful. I'm going to do a desert paint scheme on this, which is pretty much just sand colored and a lot of weathering. And this will go into my DAC army. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to build the command version. I believe it's pictured here. Yeah, this guy here with the antennas. I'm not sure why. I just think it looks cool, so why not? So I'll get that other one built, and I'll get these guys painted together. And in a couple of days or so, I'll get going on these guys and let you see what they look like. But that's just a little teaser for you now. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and keep on gaming.